Welcome. This is a
live streaming is on.
Okay, the live streaming is started. So, hi everyone. This is a mapathon. It's like an event in which people are joining all together and map on Openstack Map. I will introduce you to our project called Unite Maps and to the UN Mappers community. So Unite Maps is a program run by the United Nations Global Service Center, UNGSC, which is the logistic base of the United Nations, and it is based on in Brindisi in Italy. And Unite Maps is a program run by also from the UNGSC, but also from the United Nations Geospatial Information Section in New York, and was established also by three peacekeeping missions, which are UNSOS, MONUSCO, and MINUSCA. And these UN peacekeeping missions are based in Somalia, MONUSCO in Democratic Republic of the Congo, and MINUSCA in Central African Republic. So Unite Maps is an organized editing activity in which we are producing topographic data on Openstack Map for the UN peacekeeping mission. In particular, the missions will use our data for peace and security operations, and also for navigation and logistics. So basically, they will use our maps to have some topographic information out of them. And also we are providing different other geospatial products. Among the products we are delivering, we have street maps, so maps with contextual and background information. Then we have image maps, which are collections of United Nations managed satellite and aerial imagery. And then we have the operational maps, which are they are online services providing operational information on operational activities for the UN field missions. And we are also going to provide other solutions to the peacekeepers, like the 3D globe solutions. So visualization in 3D of our data. Then geocoding services and routing services to navigate through the roads we will trace in a little while. Among the cartographic products, we have the topographic maps. They are like our main cartographic product. Basically, they are areas of scale 1 to 50 to 50,000, and also the 10K scale maps. So areas of 1 to 10 to 100,000 meters. And basically, these are our main products. So the missions in the field are asking us to map those areas, which are areas of interest for them. And we are basically tracing every topographic feature, including rivers, highways, land cover, land use, and so on. We are also going to provide for the missions in the future city maps, which are 10K scale maps, in which we will be mapping all the buildings and the point of interest of different areas, so mainly the main cities in Africa. And then we are also going to provide focus maps, which are very detailed topographic maps for the UN bases all around the countries. So Unite Maps is providing topographic data on Openstack Map, and this is like a change of approach in the United Nations, because we are creating data, geographic data, for the not only for the usage of the United Nations, but also for the general public. So everyone can access Openstack Map. Openstack Map is a free and open database of the world, hosting all the geospatial information in it. And everyone can access this data. Is free, so everyone can download the data on Openstack Map, and also can edit the database. So basically, every user can create, modify, or delete geospatial features inside OpenStreetMap. And we are doing this, we are editing topographic data both with an internal mapping facility. So we have like 15 GIS consultants mapping the areas of interest of the missions, but also with crowdsourcing. So Raquel and I are part of the crowdsourcing team, and we are trying to reach out with different communities in the OpenStreetMap world to map all together on our projects. So the features we are adding are mainly highways. So we are mapping or improve the road network, waterways, tracing rivers and streams, land cover and land use. So we map forests, farmlands, residential areas, industrial areas, quarries, scrub, everything. Then villages. So we are mapping not only the residential areas, but also we are putting nodes for the places. So we are putting places of villages, hamlets, isolated dwellings, and so on. And when possible, also the names. And then point of interest in main cities. So like place of worship, water towers, and so on. So up to now, with this project, we are working in 6 different countries. So we are supporting UNSOS in Somalia, MONUSCO in Democratic Republic of the Congo, MINUSCA in Central African Republic. Then we are also mapping in Mali, supporting MINUSMA mission. We are mapping in ABA, which is a small independent land between Sudan and South Sudan. And we are supporting there the UNISFA mission. And then in South Sudan, we are going to also to map with UMIS, the mission in South Sudan. So we are doing this, trying to gather all the people under the umbrella of the UN Mappers network. This UN Mappers is like a network of different communities ranging from UN personnel in the field. So we have people coming from GIS groups, offices, military, and police. Working there in the field, to academia. So we are reaching out with high schools and universities mainly in Europe, but also somewhere in Africa. Then we are also trying to engage with local communities. We did a nice event with the OpenStreetMap Mali community and also with the Italian OpenStreetMap community. We are reaching out with NGOs, so we were in contact with Médecins Sans Frontières and other NGOs working with OpenStreetMap. And then we are reaching out also to any remote volunteer in the world. And we are organizing, so mapathons, so these kind of events in which we are explaining our activities and then mapping all together. But also other community things like logo contests or activities with kids and so on. So among our activities, we have like the management of mapping projects on the tasking manager. We will see what is about now, because it is like the main way a contributor can help us in our projects. We are also doing crowdsourcing imports of UN data into OpenStreetMap. So we are ingesting into OpenStreetMap data coming from UN databases. For example, we had the permission from UNSOS to import waterways that were already mapped in southern Somalia, and we are importing them into OpenStreetMap after having had the community approval from OpenStreetMap. Then we are organizing many educational activities and material in different languages, including editing guidelines and documentation. And this will be delivered in the Unite Maps Learning Hub, which is like a Moodle website. And we are working on it, so very soon it will be available with all the training material related to OpenStreetMap. Then we are doing continuous validation and training of remote mappers contributing to our projects. We are on social media. We have a website. We are going to have a website. And also we are tracking the statistics of the contributions. So I will explain later how to be showcased on the statistics. But basically, every chain set we are committing to Openstack Map, we have to add to the comment of this chain set hashtag #UMMappers. And this will lead us to be showcased in the statistics. So checking the statistics, we have 800, more than 800 contributors all along this period of time. So we had like 800 people mapping with us, and we contributed to Openstack Map 2.5 million of edits. And we have a nice leaderboard that maybe I can show you. I hope you can see it. This leaderboard is nice because you can see like a sort of global leaderboard with all the users. These are Openstack Map users. And you can see the number of edits they committed to Openstack Map, the number of kilometers of waterways, highways, square kilometers of land cover and use. So this is like some sort of gamification we are putting on to engage with the people all around. Then we have a crowdsourcing heat map in which we can see where the people are mapping. And this is like a zoom on Somalia. And you can see that we were working in southern Somalia mainly, but also some community members were mapping on other areas that they were not requested to, but they are simply mapping in the name of the UMMappers. So, as I was saying, we opened projects up to now for Central African Republic, Mali, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Somalia. And today we will be mapping in Central African Republic, and also we will show how to use Josem and the tasking manager to contribute to our mapping project. This is not very important. So I'm trying to go fast in such a way that we can start as soon as possible. Okay, so basically we are producing educational material. I hope it will be available by the end of the year. And this educational material is present in English, French, Spanish, and Italian. And also the project instructions are written in all these languages. So you can simply change the language in the tasking manager and you can see the instructions in different languages. We are also going to include the YouTube videos in the training hub. So our social media are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Eventbrite. And you can send us an email to un.mappers@un.org to be inserted in our mailing list in case you are not already there, in such a way that you can stay updated on our activities. And maybe you can also propose collaboration, like activities with your school if you have a class, or maybe mapathons or partnerships. So here in the slides that maybe we can share with you later on, I put some links that are, basically the things I showed up to now. I don't know if you have any question to this point, or maybe I can go on with the tasking manager. Let me know. Okay. No questions? Yes? Alain? No. Okay, I will go on with the tasking manager. So let me share the screen again. Okay, so basically, in order to contribute to our project, we are using the HOT Tasking Manager. HOT stands for Humanitarian OpenStreetMap Team. It is an NGO. And basically, we are using the tasking manager like to collaborate with other volunteers in the world. So maybe Raquel can share on the chat the website, but basically it is this tasks.otosm.org. So we can go here on this website and click on Explore Projects. And see that many different are sharing their mapping projects. So we have projects from OT itself, but then also projects from the Kenya Red Cross. We have also Medicine Sans Frontières sometimes, Youth Mappers, Tanzania Development Trust. We have many NGOs that are all sharing their projects here and catching the contribution of volunteers. In order to search the projects of UN mappers, you simply click on More Filters. And after More Filters, you can select the organization and type UN mappers. Click on UN mappers, apply the filter, and you can see our project. So basically, we have one project for each country. So Mali, Central African Republic, Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Somalia. And also 3 import projects of waterways in southern Somalia. But import projects are most of the times an activity for advanced mappers. So we will stitch to these 4 up to now. And today we are going to map in Bangui in the Central African Republic. So let's click on the project. And you can see in the project you have a full list of details about the task and also about our activities, plus other information like what features we are mapping, the imagery that it's used, the number of contributors, the percentage of validation and mapped. Okay, a full description of our project. You can use this question and comment section in order to post some doubts or questions about the mapping activity. And then to go on, you can click on contribute. So with contribute, you will open this the project. I see many people are already mapping, like Jolive, Nayara, Rogério Madeira, and UNGC Isoipsa. So this is like you can see a grid with many tasks. These tasks are the different areas that a contributor can take for himself, for herself, or himself to map, so that anybody can interrupt his mapping. Can have like concurrency problems when mapping in the same area. So one guy or one girl can take one task, and that area is for him or for her to map. So in this page, you can see also the instructions here. And in the instruction, the instructions are very important to read. Basically, we are using Maxar imagery most of the times because it is the one, the most updated one. Then we are adjusting the imagery offset, and maybe we will show later on how to do it. We are not over-extracting features because most of the time, high quality mapping is better than quantity. Okay, then we are also teaching how to which kind of tags we are using most of the time. So for the roads, we are using different tags, which are basically the information we apply to geographical features. So the highway unclassified, highway tertiary, secondary, primary, residential, and track. path, and every feature is explaining in the wiki page. So you can click simply on this highway equal to track, and you will be redirected to the wiki page in which there is the full explanation of the feature. And also we are putting on the roads surface information. So basically we are only stating if the surface is unpaved or paved, and most of the time it's paved. Waterways, we are mapping rivers and streams, and also ditches and canals sometimes. And also is putting waterway intermittency with intermittent equal to yes or seasonal equal to yes, in case the water course is intermittent due to the different seasons. Then we have residential areas. We are basically mapping a polygon all around the cities without mapping the buildings, because for topographic maps, I mean, buildings are not so interesting, because yes, okay, you can see topographic maps are way bigger, and the detail of the building is not rendered in topographic maps of this scale. And then we have places which are nodes. We are putting nodes at the very center of land use areas, of residential areas. And these places are nodes with the tag place equal to something. And this something can be locality, if it is like a place without any living population there. So we know the name in certain ways. Isolated dwellings if there are only one or two households. And keep in mind that in Africa, not all the houses, many huts don't act as households. So you can see many huts that are maybe they belong to one or two households, even if they are more than one or two huts. We have hamlets, which are very small villages with less than 200 inhabitants and between 2 and 20 households. Villages with 200 to 10,000 inhabitants, and then little towns when we are almost sure to have 10,000 inhabitants. Okay, so these are basically the instructions. Also, I mean, in the future, we are going to provide educational material in order to understand how how to map from the very beginning. So for today, maybe I can show how to do it through Josem. So Josem is an application written in Java. So I hope you downloaded it. So basically, this is like the main interface. We can do several things on JSON. The first one is to change the settings. So you can simply go on preferences by clicking F12 or going in edit and then preferences. You can put your OpenStreetMap account from the authentication tab in this globe icon. So you can enter with your OpenStreetMap account. Hopefully you have also an OpenStreetMap account already, but if not, you can go simply on openstreetmap.org and create the account, and then access it with the password. One important thing to have here is this remote control. So you can go on this icon with this tool and enable remote control. This will allow us to use the tasking manager in the way we want. So the important thing is to enable this remote control before proceeding. And then maybe you can allow also the expert mode, but it is not mandatory. So I hope everyone is fine up to now. Let me know if you need time to create an OpenStreetMap account or to download JOSM, or if you are fine. I see many people are already mapping, so maybe I can go on. Okay, I will go on. So basically, on the tasking manager, what we do is we access the project. We can click on one task. So let's say we are going to map, let's say here. So map selected task. We click this button in the bottom right. And if we enable the remote control on Josem, you can see that basically is happening something on Josem. So Josem will download the Openstack Map data present in that tile. So we have all the data in that tile. Basically, in Openstack Map, we have nodes, ways, and relations. And then also the imagery, it is automatically uploaded in this Maxar. So you can see some contributor already mapped here some paths, some ways. There is an unsupervised road, sorry, an unclassified. So this is like the interface. You can see basically the data from this view. You can see okay, in this particular screen you can see like the this highway, which is unclassified. You can select things with the mouse by clicking the left button of the mouse. And you can see on the right the tags. So these are the tags applied to the features. And you can see unclassified, highway unclassified, the source date, and surface unpaved. Then here we have an island of sand. So you see an island. This is a riverbank. These are paths into the grass. So basically, when we download the data, then we can go on with the mapping. And we can delete maybe features that are not no more there. So we can see or hide the layers by clicking this icon of the eye near to the layers. So with this, I can hide the Openstack Map data layer, and I can see in a better way the imagery. So you can see this path, for example, is not existing. So if I can select it by clicking the left button of the mouse, and then clicking delete to delete this way. Then maybe I can select the nodes by dragging the mouse, like clicking the left button of the mouse and dragging and adjusting this road, and so on. So I can make many modifications of the database. In this case, yes. Do you want to make a question? No. Okay. So let's say I modified the data. I mean, I'm only showing in a fast way how to edit on Openstack Map. So now that I modified this way and deleted this path, I can upload the data with this button, the one with the right going above, and you can see the yes.
We have a question. How to
Yes.
get the data into Josm?
How to
get the data, download the data, but I think you must show the process from the tasking manager.
Yes. Okay. So the most important thing is to go on settings. So you can click on Josem Edit and then Preferences. In this way, you can activate the remote control here with this button. This I don't know, is a receiver. In this icon, you can activate the remote control. once you enable the remote control, you are able to download the data directly from the tasking manager. And to do that, you simply go on the tasking manager. So let's say now that I didn't map anything and I submit the task. You can go here in the tasking manager. I mean, if you don't have the link, maybe Rachele can share it in the chat. And then you can click one task, one of these tiles. You can click one, and then proceed with map selected task. Once you have Josem open and you click map selected task, it will download the data directly into Openstack Map without doing anything. I mean, it will download exactly the tile we selected with the data on it. I hope I was clear enough.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, so coming back to our example before that we were doing before, in that case, I removed one path. Yes?
Another question.
Yes.
How can I adjust automatically the geometry of one building?
Automatically, in which sense?
I think with the press Q.
Okay, so if you have, for example, a building, okay, here there is no building, but maybe let's say we have a building which is not completely squared, like this one, and we want to square it. So to automatically square it, just press Q. Whoops. So this way, I mean, it has to resemble a little bit a rectangle. So let me see. Okay. So if you click Q, it will square automatically the building. So it will create 90 degrees corners. And this is in ID editor, I think is another shortcut. But yes, with buildings, you simply, or other features, I mean, other areas, other closed ways, you can simply click Q, select before you have to select the object and then click Q, and it will become a squared polygon. So if the polygon has some different, like a more complex shape like this one, you can click Q, and it will create 90 degrees angles everywhere, also in these complex shapes. But this building is not existing here, so I can delete it. And then I can upload the data. I don't know if there are any questions. Maybe I can show how to upload the data. Are there any other questions, Rachele?
For the moment, no.
Okay, so let's keep like the example I was doing before. I removed one path and I adjusted the geometry of one road. And then I deleted that building in the middle of the grass that wasn't actually existing. So I click on this button with the arrow pointing up. And you can see here we have like a small description of what we modified, what we deleted, and so on. This is the chain set, and the most important part of the chain set is this comment. If you see, it is already compiled by the tasking manager, so Josem is already compiling it with the comment we are providing. And the most important thing is that this hashtag mappers inside the comment, because in this way we can track I mean, the contributions of the people that are mapping on our projects, and we can track the leaderboard or the crowdsourcing heat map. And also another important thing in the chain set comments is always to describe what we did. So in this case, we have a small description like added and modified the topographic data. I can maybe add also deleted building and modified the geometry of a road. And this kind of comment is useful to other Openstack Map users to know what you did. So basically, everyone can see your modifications in your chain set, and they can see the comment. Okay, this guy deleted a building and modified the geometry of the road. So it's nice, and this mapping also for the UM mappers. And okay, that's it. once I'm ready, I can simply upload the changes. So I click this button, and the data is already, the database is modified with this action. So the data is in Openstack Map is already changed. I modified everything. Most probably the data will be rendered on the openstackmap.org website later on, because the renderers are taking time after the data is modified to be to create the raster of the map. But yes, in this way I modify the database, so everything is trackable with these chain sets, and also vandalism is defeated by those chain sets in a similar way to Wikipedia, because also Wikipedia articles, for example, they have this chain set with the comments and so on. So if somebody is vandalizing the map, like deleting many objects or remove or messing up geometries, you can simply revert the chain set. So some expert user can see the chain set and simply revert it. So in such a way to come back to the previous situation of the database. That's pretty much it. This was in a fast way how to contribute. So maybe we can go on for the next hour with Rachele doing some spare mapping. So if you have any question, just ask or write in the chat. Okay, let me show another thing. When you finish it with your chainset comment, I mean, with your chainset, you submitted everything. You can go back to the tasking manager. Here you have to select the status of the map of the task. So basically, we have is this task completely mapped? The answer is no, because I didn't check carefully if everything was there. I mean, everything of what we are asking for. So roads, waterways, villages, and basically residential areas. So we can put also a comment. So I removed a building and modified the geometry of the road. And then I can submit the task. In this way, I will modify the status if I put map the task was mapped, or not. Well, actually, I put the task is not finished yet, so the task is still white, available for mapping. And these locks are for the users that are blocking that task in that moment. So this is almost everything you need to know to contribute. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, I mean, the floor is for Rachele.
Okay, also if you, now we will do a bit of mapping. If you have questions during the mapping, you can ask in the chat, or just stop me and ask everything you need to know. So I will share my screen now. A moment, I will share my Josem. Can you see it?
I can see a terminal.
Okay, good. Wait. Why? Okay. You can see now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, I have downloaded the data from the hot tasking manager, as Michael was saying before. So you can see that in this square we don't have many things mapped. So in my opinion, it's better if you have like method to map every square. My method is I start with waterways, and later on with the highways, and finally I will map the residential areas. which are requested in the instructions. So you can see that we have downloaded the Josem data. The boundary of for the task is this one, and that we have this service, Digital Globe, which is the same that you can find here, is the Maxar imagery. You can see that is the same imagery. As Michael was saying before, maybe in this case, no, it's okay, but you can face, for example, some problems with the offset of the imagery. If you need to move the imagery, just click on the select from the layer box, the Maxar Premium Imagery, and with the right click of the mouse, you can click on New Offset. You see that this box appears, and simply moving your mouse, you will move the imagery. Okay, but we have seen that we don't have many features here. We just have this road, so I will cancel and I will let everything how it is. Well, I say that the first thing that I do is to map the waterways. How we can recognize the waterways in the imagery? You can see, if you zoom out a bit, that they are very recognizable because they have a lot of vegetation. So we can see that we have a river here below, and all this greenery are highways. Also, another thing that we can do, sometimes if the imagery is not so good, or if we want to have a validation of what we think, we can download, we can just add some other imagery. For example, I will add now the Bing aerial imagery. I will not use it. I will just have it here to see if sometimes I don't know what is something, to have a bit another imagery to watch. So you can see maybe that in the Bing imagery, the waterways are very, very clear. We have this waterway here, and the water flows in this direction until arrive to the river. So I will start mapping these waterways. I will now go to my Maxar, activating it, and okay. So I think we can start from here. What I do is just start drawing. I can also use the shortcut RA, and I start. Usually, this is a good scale to map, so that you are pretty precise. And so we will do that way. So I have mapped this stream, and what I do when I finish the first segment, I can add the tags, but other thing that I can do is go to the presets and search for the feature that I'm looking for. For example, we have here water. We are mapping water, so, and here we can choose one of the options that we have. Usually in our projects, we have a lot of streams and some rivers, or some beaches near the urbanizations, or in the agricultural landscape. So I will choose stream, and here you can see that we have many fields to fill. You must not fill every field, but we will check the intermittent. Usually in Central African Republic, the streams are intermittent due to the seasonality. So we will check just the intermittent. We don't know the name, of course. And so you see here that you have here this link, more information about this feature, this will open the Wiki OpenStreetMap page with all the informations of the streams. So if you have any doubt, you can just click here and this will open the wiki page. I think if I do, you will not see, or maybe yes. Do you see the wiki page? No, because I'm sharing just the Josem.
No, I cannot see.
Okay. So you can try to do it, because I'm sharing the Josem window. So, and we will apply the preset. And here we see that we have these tags, intermittent yes and waterway stream. Okay, then we see this other stream, and when we arrive here, we just connect it to the other one. Again, presets, water stream, intermittent, apply. I think you see that I go up just a bit over my task, but just a bit, because if I have other mapper here, the problem is that maybe we are mapping the same thing. So be very careful if you have neighbors mapping near your task. So, and again, water stream. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
We had a question from Yonut asking if adjusting the image is just for Maxar as is in beta, or because he sees the Bing image overlaps okay. And yes, I was telling him in the chat that most of the times, I mean, in OpenStreetMap, we are adjusting the offset as a general procedure, because we don't want to have OpenStreetMap data mapped with many different offsets. So if we are using many different images to map the data, then the database will host data from different images. So the thing we do usually is to adjust the offset to the OpenStreetMap data. And if we don't have data and we want to be sure to work in the right offset, most of the times Bing is the, like for historical reasons, because it was like the most used ones for years, is the offset to choose, I mean, the first one. I hope I was clear on this. But yes. Yeah, we don't have any other question.
Yes, we have a lot of data mapped on Bing. So in this case, we don't have nothing. We have anything mapped. But we have, for example, in some areas, a lot of buildings mapped with Bing. And so it's better to change the offset of our imagery to match them. And that so we can keep the consistency of the data. Okay, I'm going on with my waterways. If you have waterways in your task, just map them like this. And of course, we will see now that, sorry, we have other presets. Also, you can pin, for example, I'm using a lot of the stream, so you can pin this with the pin symbol to the toolbar, so that you can find it there, and you must not go every time to the presets, and so on. Okay, we will go just a bit. For example, I see here that maybe it's not here the last point. So with S shortcut, I just select the points, and then just by typing A, I can go on with the mapping. You can see that the position of the waterway is not very clear, because we have a lot of vegetation. So we keep in the middle, and So, okay, and I will finish it here. Good practice, which is not required, but is a good practice, is when you, for example, I have finished this waterway, but we are sure that this waterway continues. So what we can do is just select this last node and apply to this node the tag fix me, and you can write, for example, continue the waterway, for example, so that other mapper that we will arrive here, we will see he will see that this waterway doesn't finish here, it continues, and so that he can fix it. So it's not required, but is helpful and is a good practice. Okay, so this is the way we map waterways. Maybe now we can map a highway, so just to see some different features. So do you see that here we have a highway? The most difficult part when mapping highways is to choose the classification of the highway. In our countries, and you can see it from the highway tag Africa. Maybe Michael can share the link to the page. In Africa, so we have a slight different way to map the highways. We must look if these highways ends, for example, in an agricultural place, or if they are connecting hamlets, if they are connecting towns or big cities. This is the difference, the main difference between the types of highways. So we must follow this road to see, for example, where it goes. We can see that, okay, here we have a little hamlet, and then we have sparse houses, sparse buildings along the way, and we are going south, and here our highway starts. So it's going down, 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 and okay, here we have again some buildings, and I'm pretty sure that this highway, even if we cannot see, because we have this wood here, but we can see a bit the trace that is connecting with this one. This one was mapped by the previous mapper. So if you select a way and you type Ctrl-H, you see that you have all the history of the highway, all the history of the geometry that you have selected. So we can see that this highway was mapped the first time by Jorieke in 2013. And the last one who was mapping here was Jesus Gomez on 2020. Okay, so what we will do now is, I think the best is start from here, that we can see very, very good where the highway goes, and we follow. We see that there are not many things around. We are in an isolated place. Okay. Okay, we can follow. Okay. Okay, we have arrived here. We can see that we are not sure if it's from here or from here. Well, I think it's from here. I can take a look in Bing. It's not much helpful. So, but I'm okay. And we can, for example, finish here for now. So we have our highway. And what we will do now is to apply the preset. So highways. And here you can see that we have many options. And this road, as it is connecting, we have seen some hamlets, will be unclassified. Unclassified. We don't know the name, we don't know the lanes, we don't know anything, but the surface, in the most cases, you will find that it's unpaved. So, and we apply the preset, and we have here our tags: highway unclassified, surface unpaved. It's not much common to find highways that are paved in our projects. So, okay, now what we will try to connect these two highways. Okay, I'm looking for, okay. You see that, for example, we can delete this node, and we can go, okay. Yes, I see now. Okay, we can see the tags in this highway are highway unclassified, source being in 2011. So I will go on, and then, okay. And I think we arrive here. Okay, if you are not sure where this highway goes, you can let it in this way. And our validation team, in a second moment, will check for the road network and fix this, trying to understand if there is a connection or not. Well, it's important, or if you have a lot of kilometers that you cannot understand. I'm pretty sure that they are connected. So from here, from this way, I think, yes, I can see a bit. But if you are not sure, it's better to let it so. Maybe adding always in the last node the fix me tag. For example, we can write not sure about where is the highway from that point, from this point. Okay, so that we will check it later. Okay, it's better doing this way, because you must think that this data will go to our personnel in the field, and maybe if we map something which is wrong, they will get lost, and I guess is not a good idea, and is not a good situation. So I'm looking for, okay. We see, for example, that we have this, okay, another thing in this highway, you can see that we don't have the surface. It's super important to insert that the surface is unpaved, so that we have all the tags. And in this case, as we were mapping, we can see all the highway. Okay, it's okay. Now I have mapped this highway continuing from here, and but the best practice we can do when doing these things, for example, because it's very long and I wasn't looking for this, because it's very long and it's just intersecting a lot of other tasks, it would be better to split it with the PKK. If you select a node and you click P, you will see that you have 2 segments, and then you can continue mapping. This is because if somebody else is mapping in the other ways, we can have some conflicts. I will see, for example, now I will upload this data to see if we have some conflict with what was mapping before. So as Michael was saying before, we can have here our comment. We can add it and modify topographic data. Thank you. So added waterways and highways, for example. Highways. You can see that the imagery is the Maxar Premium. Okay, upload changes. Okay, it was good. We had any conflict with other data mapped. You can see, for example, that we have this little segment. We can just, I want to show you one thing. For example, I can map this one. For me, this segment will be a track in the tags. You can see from here that where is the track? I can see it. Why I can see it? Okay, under ways we have the track, and again you can choose many things like the grade. We don't put the grade usually because it's very difficult to understand which grade we need to use, and we will select the surface unpaved. Okay, and because this segment is not connecting any settlement, so we will is going just to the river. Okay, but maybe it's not this case, but just to show you how we proceed in this case, in the case that the track goes on over the waterway and continues on the other part. We will do this. We will connect one node with the waterway. For example, it's not so, but imagine that is so that we have this case. Maybe in some cases here we can have a bridge, but it's not this case. So what we will do in this case is to select this node and to add the tag for the yes. You can just add the tag, so Ford, yes, so that we know that here we have this intersection, but the highway continues, and that a car can go over and go to the other side. Okay, now I will delete. At this point, I will type P, so you can see that we have the 2 segments, and I will delete this part and also this tag from the tag pane. I will delete it. You see we have our node, but we don't have anymore the tag. Okay, and the last thing that we can see, for example, is how to map a residential area. I don't see many residential areas here. No. Okay. So for example, we have this little settlement. We can see, for example, the difference between Maxer and Bing. We can see, for example, okay. So in this case, we don't have a big settlement. We have just 2 houses. So this will be an isolated dwelling. What I will do is, you can, for example, map the buildings. We are not requiring to map the buildings in our projects, but it's a good practice to add a node here, and you can just type place in the key, and you will see that you have many options like city, country, farm, hamlet, island, isolated dwelling. So for me, is this one. The descriptions of these options that you have, you can find them on the wiki page, but you can find also them in the instructions of the tasking manager. So okay, and for our projects, this would be okay, just the node without the buildings. Okay. But we can, for example, imagine that this isolated dwelling have other houses here, and that is a hamlet. In this case, for example, thinking that here we have more houses, what we will do to add the residential area is just, for example, to map a polygon. And be always careful not to join the land use with the highways. The correct way to map is this one, with the highway here in one side and our land use in other side, not connecting them. Okay, so we can imagine that we have here a big hamlet, and choosing this polygon, we can add our tag, which would be land use residential. And so we have a residential area. Okay, but we will simply delete it. For example, when we map for a big hamlet, okay, this was our isolated dwelling. We can put a node. Just imagine that we are mapping a hamlet. We can put a node and add, again, place and hamlet in the center of the polygon. Well, more or less the center of the polygon. Of course, we don't know the name of this place, but it's okay. Another thing that can happen, okay, this is our mapping. When I will upload now this data, you will see that we have a warning that is saying missing tag, place without name. This is because we have mapped this settlement, and this settlement hasn't a name. But we can simply continue our upload because we don't know the name, and it's okay. It's just a warning. It's not something that is so mandatory. So okay, now we will upload the data. So car added topographic data, added isolated dwelling Okay, we have here you can see that I have checked the automatically obtained source, and that is putting me Bing also. It's not so I will just delete this and I will upload my changes. Okay, so there are any questions maybe, or something that you want to see, that you have faced the issues in some projects maybe, or something that you can see that you want to see? If not, we can continue mapping. And if you can try to map in your task, and if you face any problem, you can just ask. If you don't know how to do something. Okay, I will continue then from here. Okay. So I will use now the you saw before that I pinned the preset, and so name, we don't have a name. This is an intermittent, so apply. And this one I have here, for example, this preset, and I will apply default. Okay, we can go on mapping our waterways. Remember always to connect the waterways. Apply. Okay. As you can see, waterways are easy to spot because we have all this vegetation. And for me, here is a bit more darker, the green, so I will go here, intermittent, and so on. Okay. Okay. Intermittent. Okay. For example, another thing that we can find in the OSM data, for example, should be this. This is just an example. So somebody was mapping before us, and okay, and made this waterway. You can see that the direction of the flow is not the correct one. So what we can do is to correct the direction. To do that, we just need to select the segment and press R, which means reverse. So with R key, voila, we have our flow direction in the good way. Okay, and okay. Maybe a bit here. I have adapt, so I will watch in Bing. Also be careful, because sometimes in Bing we see a lot of roads or settlements that with Maxar we cannot see. This is because maybe some settlements has moved, or they are abandoned because of the war and so on. So it's always better match to Maxar. I think this is here. Okay, and intermittent. Okay, and so on. Okay. Okay. So, I think we
I
can.
have a question.
Yes.
What if an highway is crossing a waterway?
Is here. Wait. Okay. This is another waterway. I show it before. So.
Okay. Yes. I can see the Ford. Okay.
Yeah, the ford is here. Yes, it's
No,
very,
because
very,
when you zoom out, I cannot see. I mean,
no,
it
yes,
disappears, I think.
yes. When you zoom out, the ford is disappearing.
Okay.
But you can see from here. Yes, this is very simple to do it. So, and it costs really nothing, but it's super useful to have it mapped. And okay, we can just check a bit more. It's not easy sometimes to spot the villages. We have here another highway. Let's see where this highway goes. Okay, it seems to me that this goes here. Look, this big settlement, we can say. Maybe somebody else is mapping it, so I will not touch it. And it's going here and then to the south. And from here, let's see. Okay, here we can. I guess that is connecting here. Okay, so this highway is connecting settlements, as we can see here. So for me is again another unclassified. I will start here to avoid to have conflicts with my neighbors. And I will go to the highways, streets, and unclassified. And I will choose the surface unpaved. Okay. So we have our highway. Again, we can just add, if we want, the fix me. Well, when we are mapping on the HOT tasking manager, it's I would say very clear that if I have stopped mapping this road here is because I don't want to go to the other task. But if you are free mapping, for example, and you don't have much time, or you run out of time, and you are sure that the road is not ending there, you can always add the fix me tag. Continue the highway. Okay. So also, okay, I like to be more precise here. Okay, and okay, you can see that the waterway system is very complex. So intermittent and streams. Okay, sometimes somebody asks which is the difference between a stream or a river. The difference is that a stream, it's a waterway that a healthy man can jump. So I can jump from one side to another. It's not a very good description, but until now, this is the description that we have in the community. So we will stick to it. Okay, it's around, Mikael, it's around 10 meters, I think, 6, 7, 8. I don't remember.
You mean the width?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I have to check.
I think it was 10,
Stream.
maybe.
Well, once we don't know how to map one feature in Openstack Map, I mean the the main point is to ask to the wiki. I mean the wiki is our main teacher on these things. So waterway equal to stream. Let me search for it. I don't know if it is written the width. Let me search.
Yes, that.
Maybe in river.
Or yes, or in river.
Let me say. Let me search. Waterway equal to river. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so so there is a width of 5 meters for rivers as an example. So I guess if I don't remember in a bad way, is like 3 meters the width
3 meters. Okay.
for a stream. But I mean, it's not very.
Yes, it's not very precise.
Yes, the definition is pretty funny, but yes, there is no precise width. Also, because from satellite imagery, it's difficult to
Yes.
know the exact width of the river.
Yes. Okay, so I think I'm done with this task. Yes, I think, well, here we can maybe add this waterway. Okay, intermittent apply preset. Okay, so I will upload my data. In this case, we have added highways, and you can see that I have unchecked this box. We can see the options that we have here. Also, max Arion is no. I don't. Yes, no. I don't know. I don't have it, but I can just do in this way, and I will upload my changes. Once I have done that, I will share now the browser. If I must stop sharing, and I will share the browser. Okay, you can see my screen.
Yes.
The tasking manager.
Yes.
Okay, so I have finished, and I will close the task from here. So is this task completely mapped? I will say yes, comment. I will just let drop a line like added highways, waterways, and isolated dwelling. Thank you. And I will submit my task. So now you see that my task is complete, and that is ready for validation. And so our team the crowdsourcing team will validate these tasks, and then we have also a second validation from our from the internal mapping team. So we have a double validation of the data that we are mapping. Okay, so maybe we can go. Oops. Yes, we can. Okay, we can search for example, if we can find a residential area. I will go here, maybe, and I will start again. Okay, and now, okay. Okay, so in this case, what we have here. Okay, I forgot to delete the previous data. I will do it now. Okay. Okay. So that I have here just the data from this task. Also, another thing that I can do to have a better idea of what we have outside here, we can just zoom out and download the data. Okay, I will maybe as a new layer, so that we will not touch the data that other mapper is mapping. So we can see that here we have the data from the other tasks. So I will put it just here, and I will reactivate the level of my OSM data. So activate Shift A, and okay, here I have again just my data. So I zoom out a bit to understand how is the situation here. We have the river here. This seems to me like a wetland or something like that. Okay, we have this road, this main road. This is highway primary. It's from the project. It was mapped from this project, Eurosha, and the name is N23, and it's unpaved. Okay. Okay. So this was mapped as unclassified. For example, here. Okay, we can start from here, unclassified, because it's going. This, for example, seems to me a highway that is going to this big farmland. Yes, this area that is agriculture. So I guess it's not unclassified, because we have said that the unclassified roads connect settlements. So I will change, for example, the tag. I will go to the presets, ways, track, and the surface unpaved. Okay. And we can continue, for example, a bit of this road. I will go here. Now here, remember always that it's better not to over extract, so that we must not map like all the little, very little things. Okay, so just the main ones, those that are visible at a good scale, which should be like 100 meters or so. Or so I will just go there and here. Okay, this continues to go to the north. Okay, but I wanted to show you how we can work with the residential areas. So I will just stop here, this highway. We can, of course, go on mapping to the north, but I have seen this way. So here what we have this hamlet or village. Is a village. Yes, okay, it was mapped as village, it's okay. And we have, for example, this I will turn off the data to see better. Okay, this is also okay. This was mapped also as unclassified, but is the same case as before. So because it's not going to any settlement, so I will, for example, I can pressing shift, selecting both ways, and change the tag of both ways. Like we have save track. Okay, so we have the track, and again, if we select both, we can add also the surface unpaved. Okay, so this is good. For example, we have here this residential area, and maybe we can reshape it a bit. Yes, okay. If I press A, I can add a node there, and then I can modify it. Oops, what I have done. Voila. Wait, sorry. I will do, for example, like that, because you see that we have other buildings here. So maybe we can include them in our area. Let me think. Okay, I will this here, and okay, and so we can go. Also, another thing that we can do, okay, we can select this. We have the residential land use. We can draw the new residential area that we want to add. For example, this, I would say that is so. And selecting both, we can go to the tools. Okay, no. I have a plugin, but this is an advanced plugin. I think no, but maybe it is also in the normal toolbox, the join overlapping areas.
Yes, it is. Is there?
Yes. Okay. So you join them. Okay, and you can see that you have your land use ready.
We have a question.
Yes.
Warning: land use crossing buildings can be ignored, right? I mean, the warning.
Yes, can be ignored. This is because there is the okay. If you want to try, also you can try to solve it. If you have the warning, you will see that you will have here in the panels what is the window? Sorry, I have forgot the validation results. In the results, you will have here the warning, and just clicking with the right click, you can zoom in just to see what it is. For example, okay, we can try to do it now. For example, if we have here this building, which is not bad. Okay, like building, yes. Okay. So now we will upload this data, and you see, is this the warning, no? That it was appearing. So just close the window, go to the warnings, and you see here that you have all the warnings. If you have a lot of warning also, and just by the right click, zoom to problem, and you can see which is the problem. And so maybe you need only to move the building or to move the residential area, and then okay, you have fixed the problem. Okay, so and okay. So we have our residential area here. So I think we can let this last 10 minutes to just to map. And if somebody has any question on or doubts, just tell us so that we can see how to solve them. So, for example, here you see we have this this village, and we have this name Banga. The source is RGC. I don't know what is RGC. And in this case, is better. So we have an information that we don't know what it is. Maybe it was a village that was here before. Yes, look. You can see that we have this village here. But so it seems to me, Michael, I will ask you also, because this is Bing, and we have this this village, and maybe it looks to me like something new. It is not something.
Yes, I was checking also the difference. It seems because usually if a village disappears, you can see some signs on the ground, and also I was checking the date of the imagery from Bing. If you see, the copyright is saying 2020.
2020.
The Bing imagery, you see?
In the info.
Yes, also.
Yes.
No.
From the info, no.
No, you can click on with the right button of the mouse. Show tile info.
Show tile info here. Yes, okay. And yes, it's 2020. So what happened in this case is that in this case, Bing is more updated respect Maxar. So we will let this this village here and the Benga, and maybe we can map the land use, also the residential area.
The village name is was mapped in which year?
We can look at it with Control H in 2016.
Okay. So okay, yes, let's keep it. But yes, it's strange.
Yes, it's strange also because I don't think that Maxar is very old. So in this case.
So we have one question from Rogerio.
Yes.
In the building, we put the keys name equal to building and buildings equal to yes, or put only one of these keys?
Building equal to yes.
No, yes, actually we put only building equal to yes without the plural, only the singular. I mean, this is the tag we put. And name equal to something is basically putting the name of the building. I mean, you are putting the name of the building, like I don't know, if the building has a particular name because it is an historical palace or something like this, you can put name equal to name of the palace. In that way, it is rendered on Openstack Map with the name within the box of the building. But generally, I mean, we don't know name. I mean, not all the buildings have names. and we don't know even the function of a building in an area. So building equal to yes is like the most general way you can map buildings from satellite imagery. You are simply stating that it is only a building. Okay.
Yes, and maybe the last thing, we are not requesting to map buildings, but if you want to do, and if you want to do with Josem, the best thing that you can do is to download the plugin building tools. You can find it from F12. Just go to the plugins. So, and search in the search bar. You can put building tools, and you can find it here. I have it just downloaded in my version, but you can check and just keep and click OK. And with the building tools, the nice thing is that you can map buildings which are orthogonalized, so in automatically, and also they have the tag, so you don't need to spend your time like adding the tags, because you will find it in the plugin. So you have all the buildings, and you will save a lot of time. Okay, I will delete all these buildings. And also you can see that, for example, to map these buildings is very fast. So with 2 clicks, and also you don't need to add the tag. Okay. So I think
Rogerio is asking to repeat again.
Yes. From F12, you can download the plugin from here, and it's building. If you type building tools, you just check it, and then you click OK. Maybe, I don't know if Josem will ask to restart. When you have done it, you will find here in the left the symbol of the building, and this draw building. And from here you just click, 2 clicks, and then you can draw. Click, and it goes. And this is a perfect square, and also it has the tag building equal to yes. So you will save a lot of time mapping the buildings.
Yes, even if it's not something we are really looking for, I mean, it's nice to map them sometimes.
Yes.
Also, another, well, it's not a question. Sharif is saying, I have problem in identifying water streams.
The water streams. Okay. I think.
Yes, maybe the best way is to look with a very large.
Yes. So from here, for example, I will let Bing, I think, because maybe it's clearer. You can see that we have a river here, a very big river. And you can see that we have all this green, dark green here. And this is because this is the vegetation growing along the waterway. And so, you must zoom out, because if you are like, for example, I don't know, if you are here with Maxar, for example, you don't know if this could be a simple wood, for example, and not a water stream. How we know? Because if you zoom out, you can see that you can see clearly the waterway system. It's like to have the shape is like I don't know, some veins, and so that you can follow this and from here is going down here, and then from here to the river. Sometimes it's not easy when we have like settlements or so to find the correct place of the location of the waterway. But what you can do is follow the vegetation. I hope it's clear. It's not always so easy. It's not always so clear. It depends also on the area. Okay.
Yes. Well, actually, this is a problem we have, like in Central African Republic and Democratic Republic of the Congo, because you know there are. I mean, there is a lot of vegetation everywhere, and there are a lot of trees growing near the rivers. While we are mapping like in Mali or in Somalia, in which, I mean, the climate is more a desertic one, and it's very easy to see them because they are mainly leaving traces from the wet season. So like they are leaving traces on the ground, and it's very clear where the rivers are going. But yes, if you see the network of the river network, I mean, it's pretty clear there is a water system there. I mean, you cannot be sure. Maybe if you zoom in, sometimes, especially near the big river, maybe you can see the water flowing into the river. So
Yes.
yes, if you go, for example, yes, when a stream is going into the river, like well, I cannot show.
Wait, I'm looking for one. I cannot find one.
No, look, you can go on top here.
Here.
Zoom there. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Zoom.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
up here, but you can see that is from here.
You see that maybe on the left part of these trees there is some water there.
Here. Yes, it's not easy because we have a lot of vegetation.
Also, another thing is that usually you can easily recognize them because there are more trees in the central part of these forests.
Yes. No, we don't have any. We have too many trees in this case to see it. But here you can see that we have this one and this other one from here, and maybe no.
Yes, that is very clear.
Yes, but with the practice, you will see that you will find it and spot them soon. Yes, and also if you have adapt or so, just drop a line in the tasking manager in the section that Michael showed before for the comments, and just ask. So it's not a problem for us. We are here just to solve it, the DApps. So feel free also to write us an email. So we are here. Also, if you face any problem with Josem or whatever.
Yes, I see many people maybe are using ID. Are you using usually ID in your mapping? because yes, sometimes I mean is Josem is I mean very useful to do very complex geospatial things. I mean very very complex mapping, while ID. I mean, it's very good for something, but I mean, for example, for waterways and highways, is I don't know. I don't find it very handy.
Yes, I think that for buildings is okay ID, but for the rest maybe it's a bit better. A lot, very much. The Josem.
Good. Okay. So if we don't have any other question, maybe we can close the event.
Okay. Okay. I'm here.
Okay. So thank you for your participation and for your mapping. We announced already now that we will have an event. Well, actually, next week there will be the Openstack Map Geo Week, which is like a week that every year is like in mid-November. I mean, it's a week dedicated to Openstack Map. So we are planning to do an event for this Openstack Map Geo Week. Every day of the Geo Week, which will be next week, we will be doing a mapathon. So we will be mapping every day from Monday to Friday in different parts of the day. I mean, starting from Monday, we will be mapping in the morning. Then we will be going little by little in the evening. So I don't know.
Yes, I will share the link. Maybe.
Yes, we are organizing it, and yes, let's see. I mean, we will anyway advertise the event also in the social media and in the mailing list. Good. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you.
Hope that you have enjoyed the mapping, and don't forget to write us if you need anything. So we are here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thanks.
Goodbye. Thank you.